GM everyone, welcome to this developer skill today. I'm super stoked about this one because as you might have heard, we have our global hackathon going on. And of course, there's many questions to be answered. And I think we did quite a lot to do this already because we had our kind of hackathon bootcamp in which we had our co-working space rented out, or let's say the Web3 W3 Hub rented out for 3 full days, in which we had courses about how to get started on Solana, NFTs, the Metaplex core standard, Blinks. We had Trezor there who talked about why it's important to have a cold wallet. We had Orion there talking about multi-sigs. We had Lucas there giving not just mentoring, but also an amazing insight how you can structure your app once you start building it so that in the end you really have a plan and know what to build as a feature next. So you don't have this big idea and don't know how to structure it. So you really know how to nail it down and then start programming and all these good things. But even though we did this, we did also a lot of mentoring during this time, and there were many questions coming up for this topic. And we thought it might be a good way to just come up with this topic again and then answer your questions and just, help you with all the things along the way. And yeah, I don't want to do this alone, obviously, because I only have one opinion. So I have also good guests here in this series today. And we will be joined by Becca later on. She will be coming about 20 minutes later, I guess, because she does the pitching part. But I already have one of our OGs in the room as well, and I want to bring him on stage. Many of you who participated on the on the hackathon bootcamp might already have known him, talked with him, and yeah, I just bring him on stage. And drums, who is it? It's Lucas. Hey, Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to answering questions.
Nice. So the idea today is that I do a really small overview about the resources that you can see so that this is kind of covered. And after that, we jump right into our AMA session. I hope this is okay for you guys. So to start off, I would say we really do a really small deep dive about the stuff that we offer already. So what we offer is pretty cool, and I think it's worth showing you. And I want to start with the website itself. The website itself is Radar, so it's colosseum.org/radar, and this is where you can register. But this website is also cool because it has a FAQ section where you can, if you go down, read all the good stuff about the hackathon. And if you, there it is, shit. And if you go through the section, you see all the mentors. Oh, Mango Max is a mentor, nice. And you see all the tracks and the money that you can win there. So the cool thing about this Radar Hackathon is that you can think of it like a business startup contest. So your idea is super important here. And the way that you have an idea how to monetize is like a good team, a go-to-market strategy, and all those things. And it's especially important because after the hackathon, there's going to be an accelerator program going on. And this accelerator program would give you 250K in pre-seed in funding, plus a network, plus a membership. But you have to find a place in this accelerator. And to find this place in the accelerator, the easiest way for you would be to win one of those amazing prizes and then already have kind of a tick in the box to be very high in the list when they select the teams. On top of that, there's a 50K prize from Sphere for the grand champion and many other prizes along the way. There's going to be different tracks. So imagine you have an app and you build something for payments, then you also are eligible for a payments track. And all those tracks are based with various prize money. So the first prize is 25K, then goes down to 20, 15, 10, and 5. And the tracks that we have is Deepen, which is decentralized infrastructure. It's DeFi. I think it's clear to everyone. DAOs and network states, so everything about community building. It's payments. Really, really excited about this track because before it was DeFi and payments, so you would always be fighting against the DeFi protocols, but now there's own track for it, so you really can have a payment solution out there and really be in the payments track. A consumer track, I think is pretty clear, something consumer can use. Mobile is basically our last door, so if you can find something like this would be super cool. And there is then gaming and infrastructure tooling, infrastructure in general. All right, so this is the website from Colosseum with the Radar, where you can see all the facts about the hackathon itself, rules, everything that's there. And then there is the website itself. And the website itself is very important because it's basically where you register first. So you sign up for this hackathon. And then also you can get a lot of things out of it. So 2 things here, because I said I want to do a short and I'm already talking a lot. The first one is your profile. When you sign up, or the moment you sign up, please, please, please make sure you update your profile as good as possible. Because if you think of it, this profile, the information that's in there will be spread through the platform. So people that are looking for something, let's say for a developer or something like that, or some person with a specific skill set, they will find you there. They will find this information that's in your profile. So it's super valuable, not just for you, but also for others to find you, to really fill this thing out as good as you can. And the second part is the discussion forum. So right now there is a 3 points. 3 bullet points, let's say. The important one, I think, is the ideas point, if you don't have an idea yet. So the thing is, you can go there and say ideas, product ideas. Normally this thing would load. I have no idea why it's not. Let's go back, see what's happening. And then you can, I don't know what happened. Anyways, now it's loading. Then you can see all the ideas that's in there, right? So if you maybe want to participate on the hackathon, but you don't know what, right? You have no idea, but you would like to go through the idea section, and you could maybe find a cool team that you want to join. Same as looking for a team. You just say looking for a team, and then you can say, hey, by the way, I'm looking for a team or for a teammate, and then you will find the person there. So they can click on you, and then they can write you a message, and then you will receive an email, and you can get in touch, and then you can build your team, right? Also important, if you already know for what kind of track you want to build, there is these, how do you call it? Lucas, how do you call it? Tiles? No. Okay, yeah. These little thingies, yeah, let's call it tiles. Also hashtags, categories, let's call it categories. Tags. And those tags let you filter stuff. So if you say you want to build something for a DeFi track, you just click on it and it filters for projects that are on the DeFi track. So it's super easy for you to find a team or find an idea that you can work with or build up on. You can also shill your idea in there and get some feedback and discuss it. It's a really, really cool tool and platform. And of course, it's all on the Colosseum platform. So judges will also already see what you're going there and how active you are. And you can get really, really early support. The second point that I wanted to show you is when we start with something is the idea, right? So sometimes you don't really have an idea. And for this, we also have you covered. There's a website, it's build.superteam.fun, and there is our idea bank. And the idea bank is actually super cool because those ideas, they were coming from people that are in the domain, and they really have had a deep thought and they see a need for those ideas. So if you have no idea, if you want to be lazy, whatever it is, here are your ideas. Grab one, build it, make us all happy, build some cool piece of software for Solana. That's the way you go. Also, if you are more in a startup context and want to adapt something towards Web3, there is something called Request for Startups. This is more something you would know from the Web2 domain, I would say. For example, Y Combinator does this. They just have this website, and when you read through it, they come with some ideas. For example, applying machine learning to robotics. So the idea here would be more like, okay, it's not a Web3 specific idea, so you would rather try to find a use case for it or how to build it on Web3 if possible. But honestly, my suggestion would be, first of all, go to our ideas bank. It's well maintained. It's really, really good ideas in there, and go there and start from this. What else did I wanted to show you? Yes, there's one more thing, super cool. And this is our hackathon site. So there is a website called hackathon.superteam.fun. On this website, you can find tons of resources, pitch deck templates, teammate finders, hackathon rules, all that good stuff. But there's also one section which I think is super cool, and it's called past hackathon winners. So imagine you want to know how winners from hackathon would structure their pitch deck, how they would describe their idea and all those good things, right? And imagine you would, for example, build for the DeFi track. In this case, you could just say, okay, I'm here in the hackathon winners section, and I go to the DeFi track. And now I will get a nice form where I can really see what hackathon was, what project winning, what was the track, what was the first, second, third prize, and so on and so forth. So for example, if you would have Urani here, we can just go there and click on them. And then I already see the link to their GitHub repository. But what I really think it's pretty cool is the demo pitch. So because they are mostly recorded, so what you could do here is you could just click on this link and actually have their pitch deck from then. And then you can see how they structured it, and yeah, just get a grasp idea how you can do this. And then speaking about the pitch deck already, we also have a pitch deck template here. The pitch deck template is Luma template, which you can find also right here. So it's all on the hackathon.superteam.fun website. And I would say this is your go-to, except for the idea bank. For the idea bank, you go to build.superteam.fun. All right. And then there's one last thing that I really wanted to show you, because this is something I think it is super, super important to know. And I just found out a day or two ago. And this is the earn section from our super team. And I did not find out that this earn section exists, of course, but there's a few cool prizes in there for this hackathon that you should really know about. For example, we do have a Soulflare grant in there. And the Soulflare grant is only for you. So it's basically the most low-hanging fruit I've ever seen. If you do a product demo and you use Soulflare wallet in this demo, you are eligible for this grant. And it's 1K a grant. It's actually super cool. All you have to do is use their wallet to demo your product, and that's it. And there's tons of other things. We have local track prices, for example. So the way it would work is you just go to the site. The site is earn.superteam.fun. And then you have Radar up here. You click on it and you see all the prices. And actually this number, I think 3 days ago, it was at 200K, and it's heavily increasing. So it's really cool to do that. Then there's Kudos. Kudos is this wearable ring that tracks your health information. If you build a product for them, like that sits on top of their protocol, guess what? You're eligible. Same happens with zero compression, CK compression, super cool tech. If you really go to it, it's really fun. And Reclaim Protocol. Reclaim Protocol is actually something, Lucas, I think this is also interesting for us. It's bringing data on chain and then verifying it with CK proofs. And you can use this protocol, and then if you build it in, it seems to be really easy to implement, as much as I understood, but I've never tried it. You're eligible for those prices. So it's pretty cool stuff that you can get on top of the local prices and the global prices and everything. So for me, or for what I wanted to tell you here as a heads up, make sure that you really have this side also in your mind, because it's so easy to get extra stuff also for Metaplex. They run a prize, even a local one for us. So you can win big here just by going on this website and reading through those talks, and just making sure you're eligible. Okay.
If you don't need to specifically build for those tracks, because just build what you wanted to build, and then in the end go through this list and think about for which of those tracks your application matches, and then just submit there. So you could, of course, look first at the tracks and then dedicatedly build for one of those. But even if you don't want to do that, have a look in the end where you might by accident match the criteria and then apply there, because it could be free money.
I agree 100%. Yeah, of course. Never stress yourself out to force yourself into a technique, but have it in mind that there might be something that would be super valuable for you to do. So this is basically the very quick overview that I told you I want to give you. It's like 15 minutes. I also did the video about this, which you can also find on YouTube on our channel. But I think this is from my side everything I wanted to say. As I said, we want to open the floor. There's one more thing before I start, giving it up to the floor, because we also had Becca in here. Becca, are you here? Let's see if she's available. Becca, are you here?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Good thing I turned off my camera. I was like lying down. I'm here. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, everyone. It's Becca.
Oh boy. Just one quick thing. Oh, GM Carlos, is that there are also German specific tracks, like the creator track and green track. But in order to be eligible for those tracks, you need to present at demo day. Typically there's 15 to 20K worth of prizes just in demo day local trice packs. And so anyone from our region is eligible. There's also the general prizes as well of 10K. And you need to register for the Radar Hackathon, and you also need to submit on top of the Super Team Earn that you just saw.
And the local tracks, the way you can see them, they have this Super Team Germany wording, I would say, right?
Not all of them. There is a Metaplex track, for example, that is building with core with Germany in little brackets. So we have Metaplex and we have DeFi. Actually, we have our very first DPIN track, which I'm very excited about. So that's really exciting. So there's 2K for DPIN projects, and there's already a few DPIN projects that are bubbling up. So check out Super Team Earn. Make sure to refresh the page as well as time goes on, because there's a few things that are still trickling in as well.
Perfect. So you said you might want to say something about pitches.
Oh, sure. So, I mean, as all of you may or may not know, I'm much more on the non-technical side of things. And Solana is a little bit unusual in terms of the hackathon competitions that happen within our ecosystem. It's especially in the last, I'd say, year and a half, the focus has been more and more on it being a startup competition, which is really important to know in the sense of the kind of presentations you do, the kind of pitches, the kinds of one-liners and descriptions that you put in place. It's also gotten much more competitive. So the last, especially year or two, we've seen the number, I mean, ever since Solana Hackathon started, you can see the number of submissions go up and up and up, and the quality of submissions is getting higher and higher. So it's much harder for the judges to make really quick decisions about who makes the shortlist and who not. So in order to make that happen, you need to make it look as sexy as possible, have a really strong one-liner, have a really short, quick, beautiful introduction, make it very, very clear what you're doing and why, what problem you're solving. because if your pitch deck, if your presentation, if your quick demo doesn't actually hit on the things that it needs to hit on and looks polished and looks like it's a team that is worthy of potentially getting accelerator funding, unfortunately, the judges are unlikely to get to the point that they'll actually properly see code. So in a lot of ways, this is about longevity of projects and making sure that these are potential potential projects that can be built out that really help grow our ecosystem, because that's sort of the foundation of what these hackathons are. It's like these sparks of innovation that can potentially really revolutionize our not just Solana, but all of Web3, because there's so much that can be built that we haven't even conceived of yet. And these are these little pressure cooker times to really push the boundaries of what we can potentially do and make the most of it. So I would highly suggest taking Bjorn's excellent suggestions, Bjorn, especially looking at past winners, looking at all the resources that are available to you. If you are not a designer or have experience making sleek pitch decks, you don't have to like revolutionize everything. You can use templates. You can use things like Canva to help support you. There's a lot of really great tips and tricks out there. Obviously, like not putting tons of text on your slide and really cutting to the point. Also practicing your presentations, practicing your pitches, pitching to friends, or recording yourself and watching it over again. Staying within your time frame is also important. And really narrowing it down to saying exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it. Because communication is key, and it's a little window, so make the most of it. And Adam is coming for all the tracks.
I love it.
Yes, so we'd like to hear.
For the global hackathon will be recorded, right? So when you say practice your pitch, in the end, if your recording is good, your recording is good, right?
Yes,
and for the local track, you have to press it live.
Like, so you can practice by recording yourself and then rewatch it and say, oh, I do a lot of like, right? Or maybe I'm speaking too quickly, right? There's some people and they speak so quickly, you can't even understand what they're saying, right? So in learning how to enunciate and really understand the tempo of it can really be helped by watching something back. So if you record yourself, record your pitch, watch it again, be like, what can I improve? And do not wait until the last 2 hours before submissions to record your pitch and to submit it. Right, guys?
Okay. Yes.
Would never happen.
Never do this.
You know what I'm talking to. Yes.
This was the strategic break, and then continuing where everyone was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
You got us.
Carlos, hi friends.
Don't look at
usually
me,
there's a few people why rules end up being in place, or suggestions, because everyone has had submitted early and no problems, but there are cases where people because we want the best for everybody, right? We want our projects and our region to be as successful as possible. That's why we exist, right? To support our community, to support our builders, to support these teams. And if we can help support you by making it encouraging you to not shoot yourself in your own foot by poor time management, the quality of your pitches and your videos can be greatly improved by not leaving it to the absolute last minute, because largely it is what the judges will see first. And there is a lot of competition, and it's important that you put your best foot forward. Yes.
Will we have some pitch practice or some pitch deck reviews on our build station? End of September, early October?
Yes, absolutely. We might be able to do it also virtually during our town hall. And yes, so there's going to be a combination of sort of roast your decks, but we're also always available to send decks to. And also during the build station, which is happening from September 25th to October 8th, and October 9th is demo day. There will be the opportunity to also get up on stage and go through your decks, talk about it in person. And Carlos, the only thing you need to win a hackathon is to build useful things. But if the judges don't know that what you've built is useful, if it's not communicated clearly what is actually useful and what you've built, then you're not even going to see it. So yes, and I hope everybody remembers what an incredibly sexy video Carlos had with his trigger submission, with this like the sliding words and the yeah.
So
this video was fire.
It was
also good presentation.
Yes.
There is also one more resource I would like to share with you, and many people asked for this video last time, and it is actually a video from Cash. He did it, and it's called Improving Your Pitch Deck for the Solana Hackathon. Super valuable resource. 5 months ago, brought me through the hackathon, at least helped me finishing my pitch deck. So I really encourage you to watch this video and let him guide you through the mistakes that people might or might not make.
Yeah, Cash is a legend, and he is take his advice. It's not his first rodeo. Absolutely. And also there's some really incredible past hackathon winners as well. I see some in our chat. And Meredith, I'm so touched that our support has helped you with your pitch deck, and has, because sometimes it's a pretty small sliver between the teams that are building something really cool and maybe get shortlisted but don't get a prize, to the people that actually get a prize. Like sometimes it is so close, and it sometimes also just makes that difference of having a slide deck that is really like, that's nice. Oh, I can understand it. It's clear. It's communicated well, right? Sometimes that's all it is. If there's projects that are really, really neck and neck, take the time to like give yourself a little bit of a boost.
Yes, that's true. And now I would like to open the floor for questions. I see one person just left. This is not good. Hopefully he's coming back. But we have one question. The question is, hi, can I create an educational SaaS for Solana using Web 2 and adding additional Web 3 features?
Why wouldn't you be able to commit something like that to the hackathon? I mean, I personally always of the opinion, just use blockchain for where it really solves a unique problem that you can't solve otherwise, because databases are faster, cheaper, usually enabled by the user experience. So just use the blockchain for that little extra that you can't solve off-chain, and then you should probably be good. If you need NFTs or if you need micropayments, that's where blockchain shines. So at least that's my opinion on that topic. Becca?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The more innovation, the better. Whether that's bringing something that's new and innovative to Web 2, or spinning something up that is like really truly Opos, only possible in Solana, and mixing and merging, because there's a lot to be learned. And we're so much in this fucking around and finding out stage of our industry, right? So the more potential experiments that can happen, yeah, go for it. It might not be the perfect fit, but it could potentially build into something that is really valuable, or someone else could see it and learn something that is turned into something valuable, or grow the space in a way that we're not quite clear about how that's going to happen. Or it might just help you on your own trajectory, and it might just be a project that you learn a lot from, and you iterate on, and you make it better, and you turn it into something else, or not, and you just get the skills to go through the hackathon. And I think that's something that we also don't discuss enough, are the benefits of just participating in a hackathon, regardless of winnings or accelerators or any of this. It's really, I'm really into the anti-fragility kind of thing, the hard challenges and the things that we go through that are really difficult, not just make us resilient, but they actually make us stronger in a lot of ways. And learning time management, learning about working in teams, working about like all the different skills that you need to develop to go through a hackathon, also presenting and understanding how people are hearing and understanding your ideas, communication. Like there's so many different things, as well as all the technical challenge and just overcoming all these obstacles in a really hardcore short time frame. Not to mention all of like the product market fit and the business ideas and all the different things. That it's such an incredible opportunity just for self-growth and development, that I think even just going through the process of undertaking a hackathon project, and even if it's never going to be perfect, but if you push yourself to submit and just go through it, there's so much value to be had there.
Yes, it is actually the thing that is for you good for everything. You learn so much and you will not think of what you can learn in the long run. Funny enough that you asked this question, because especially I was mentoring together with Becca and Carlo the Web3 Summit hackathon last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess. And there was exactly this project, building this. So they had the idea to build a very individualized learning track. So they would find out via AI what kind of a learner you are. And then they would provide you with resources when they figure out that you have a gap in some certain area. And then they would basically pack one block of content, and they would say, okay, if you graph X, Y, Z, then you have, let's say, finished this chapter. And then the question was, how do you make sure that this happens? And the idea was then using, for example, an NFT to track the progress. So it's on chain that you did this, and then you can have a nice learning track. And maybe future employers, you can just give them read access to your wallet, and then they might see this NFT and kind of know that you passed it. More or less this. Ken, yes, I shared the link on X. I hope you see it. Let's say yes. Okay, is there any other questions out there? Put them in the chat. Proof of learning. Yes, I agree. Proof of learning. Oh, Bruce, is this you? This must be Bruce. Nice. Good to see you. So many faces we know already. This is amazing.
Oh, it's Monkey. Cute.
Yeah. So Becca, do you maybe have a few common mistakes that people do? Maybe not just during the pitch decks, maybe also things you've seen during a hackathon. I don't know, can be too much of a project scope or whatever you think is very valuable to give to people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be not ideal for teams, including, yes, making a scope that is too wide. If you're trying to solve too many different problems, and if you have too many moving features, and if it's just too complex and kind of convoluted, then it's unlikely that you'll have the time and energy to make it, firstly, understandable of why all of these features. And often it's like things will just get kind of half built out. And the suggestion is that it's much better to have a clear focus of what is the one thing that you're really improving, what is the one thing that you're really doing, and why. What problem are you solving, and how is your solution innovative, right? If you can just solve, or you can just describe and clearly communicate those few core aspects, then you'll be off so much better than if you have a whole paragraph of like, well, we do this, and then wait, but there's more. Oh no, and it does this, and then we have this other thing that integrates. And because at the end of the day, you only have 3 minutes, right? It's better to have something that's really interesting and compelling, and it's like a core feature of what it is that you're building and bringing into the world versus a whole fluffy thing that, just doesn't bring that much to the table and is kind of confusing. And then people have to try to figure out how all of these other aspects are fitting together. So keep it simple. Really focus on what is innovative, what is different, and communicate it as clearly as possible. Obviously, time management is a huge one as well, that teams will spend almost all of their time building and working on their code and just grinding away, and then leave all of the communication and pitch deck and video to the very last minute. And unfortunately, like I mentioned, that the judges won't actually get to see your code unless everything else kind of on the surface layer is convincing enough for them to go dig deep in it. Because there's just not enough hours in the day for the judges to go through. There's over 1,000 projects last hackathon. And so it's a lot to go through all of these different projects and really kind of dig into what they're actually up to. Another thing that people can really use to support themselves are the local communities. I assume that we have a bunch of super team friends in here. And there is a reason that super team countries perform really, really well in the hackathons, is that you also see it at build stations, that the level of quality really, really improves when you're working alongside other people. Even just the other week, right? Lucas and Leo were sitting next to each other, and Leo had really nice slides, and Lucas is like, oh, I'm gonna make these look nicer.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't just go with bullet points. So I had to make my slides nicer because someone else was operating on a way higher level with his slides, and I didn't want to stand out as the guy who just brings bullet points. So pushed me to improve my slides.
And it's similar with hackathon projects, right? Like if you have a group of people and you see someone present and it's really polished and really professional, you're like, oh, wow, I need to level up. So surrounding yourself with other people that are really skilled, but in a different range, right? Some of them are really skilled builders, and you're like, oh, this actually really helps me solve my problem, or people that can help unblock you, right? Having people that you can ask for support, and also just asking for support is hugely to your benefit. We have an incredible network of designers and UI people and devs and all sorts of people that are really happy to give you feedback, whether that's because they have a lot of experience with hackathons, or is they're good designers and they're happy to help and give you some feedback. So use the resources. Don't make life so hard for yourself if it doesn't have to be, right? Another good tip is also to use ChatGTP to help describe and communicate what it is that you're doing. You can describe your project to it and being like, hey, give me a blurb of text. You can read it back and be like, oh, actually, that describes it really well. Make sure that your wording is very clear, because if it's too convoluted, if it's too complicated, and if people don't know what you're doing, and if it has too many buzzwords, it might not make sense what you're actually trying to do. So yeah, use the resources around you, use online resources. If you have the opportunity to work next to people, actually, this is a little bit of baby alpha because it's not released yet. But so I hope and assume everybody here knows about the events grants that are available to Super Team members, as well as the ecosystem call grants program, where people can apply for a little bit of money to cover food and drinks and maybe renting a little place. So instead of a ecosystem call or a pizza party, drum roll, thank you. There is going to be a hackathon co-working little fund that is going to be going through Super Team Global as well. So it'll be similar to the ecosystem call, but it will be specifically for people all around Germany, or in our case, but obviously all around the world, So since we did a recent tour around Germany, maybe there's some friends in new places that are interested in just getting some friends together and just working together, whether that's on your practicing your pitches or just sitting next to each other and seeing what everyone is working on. So that is coming up. I don't know exactly when it will be released. I think maybe next week, but just a little bit of put it in your brains if you would like to do some co-working with some friends in your region to get some hackathon vibes going. So yeah, wait for it.
Yeah, because as you might know, you cannot all be in Berlin, sad enough. And yeah, it's cool to find people outside of Berlin then and just, co-work and enjoy and work on the projects. Also, there's going to be Ideathon, right, Becca? You also want to say something about that? Or Lucas,
Yes,
maybe?
sir. Oh, yeah. Who wants to talk about it? I feel like I've done all the talking here.
I don't have the good alpha, so it needs to be Bjorn or you.
Ooh, well, then there's going to be an Ideathon, ladies and gentlemen, where you can come up and find your great idea and develop it along the way. So there's going to be the TUM Blockchain Week next week, and we will be in Munich for that. And we have a stage where we host an Ideathon. So getting you started with your idea, helping you refining your idea. If you need some help, sometimes you have this big idea and you don't know where to start, and then we can help you to condense it down or like channel you through the right direction or so. I would say if you want to build the next NFT marketplace also, then maybe we can also help you with a
Find a better idea.
more creative ways to build something on Solana. Framing it like this. Yeah. But it's going to be super cool. It's going to be in Munich, and it's going to be a really, really nice session. I'm super looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. Becca's going to be there. Carlos going to be there. Luca's going to be there. Many other friends are going to be there. We are kind of set in stone for this, but there's also a bit of loose. So yeah, it's going to be really, really fun. So we would really like to invite you to go there. And nice that you decided to show up. I give the stage to another person here. Actually, has a question.
Oh,
welcome. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Byron.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I just have the question. I'm working with another team. They are the founders, and they are creating an app like an adult content with sounds like Spotify, but with adult content. And my work as a developer there is to implement some blockchain features with Solana. Basically, the features are to pay out the creators with USDC, because to save their privacy, because they want to give the creators the possibility to stay as much private and anonymous as they want. Like this is so they can just say, okay, we're using a third-party KYC and want to get our payment via crypto. So you don't have to get so many dates from data from us. And I just want to ask if and there's another function I will implement is to have an KYC to get KYC over the blockchain. So you are that you have to verify you are over 18. Like, because if you are a creator, you have to be over 18 there because it's adult content. And yeah, I just want to ask if it is enough to participate on a hackathon. I will participate anyways because I like, but I just want to, is it enough to pitch? You know what I mean? That's.
I think with the Web2 app that's built there, you have a great story to tell. I mean, might be a bit polarizing for some people, but I mean, if you're stuck in the middle, that's worse than that you push some people off and other people are excited about it. So I think there is certainly a story to be had, because especially if you focus on the payment part, where you say, hey, those creators usually get debanked and stuff like that. I mean, I got a bit of background because we already talked about that project, and that's the motivation why they want to do blockchain payments. I think it's a great way to use blockchain, because it solves a problem that you couldn't solve otherwise. And if you even find a good service that does KYC on the blockchain, so you got, I don't know, NFTs or something you can identify as credentials that they are over 18, that would be amazing. I don't know, Björn, Becca, do you know a service that does KYC on chain for Solana? Because I couldn't recall anything from my mind.
Civic comes to mind, for example. But yeah, I think it's, each industry has its own challenges, and even if it's something that seems maybe not the most absolutely revolutionary in terms of how it's coming on chain, it's like you never know how that's going to develop, right? And I think Lucas is absolutely right. There's a really interesting use case. There's a really interesting kind of story and another aspect of it. But you can see, for example, how Drip or some of these other music or creator related things have kind of had a certain idea and how it develops over time. So you never know, right? It might start as one implementation, and then you realize that the users actually need another aspect that is maybe unexpectedly innovative. Like, you never know. And if not, that's also perfectly fine, because yeah, as Lucas said, there are a lot of people that get debanked or have challenges with traditional TradFi systems in that industry. And yeah, allowing people to use blockchain for a whole wide range of different things. That's what it's there for, right? So absolutely looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. In my mind right now, I'm also thinking about maybe using some service that's already settled, and then using maybe this reclaim protocol thing to do the CK verification that there was a KYC, because they have a sidetrack. But as I said, I haven't looked into it. But for me, it looks like a bit use case that you could build with that. The reclaim protocol was the one I showed here, the track. And then maybe for the I'm not sure. Do you also have problems with the off ramping there, or is it just more like making sure that those the content creation part is done by people 18 plus?
I think the off ramping is not your issue, right? Because I think the team said that it's becoming more and more common to use crypto in this kind of creator community because of the debanking issue. So I would assume they should know how they get their money off chain again. So you don't have to do that for them.
Nice. Bloody says Solana identity comes into mind. Maybe you can check them out as well.
Yes.
Pekka, you are muted.
Soul ID, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think there's many things that you can be creative about. I would tackle one thing at a time. Also, we have those. I think the token extensions, they have something called a transfer hook. So token 22 is this new token standard on Solana. And then the transfer hooks are things that you can use to do something. For example, you could verify that, I'm not sure what kind of token you would build. Maybe the sounds are NFTs. I don't know about this, but then you could maybe, oh no.
No, they don't want to. That was my. I recommended to them, but they don't plan it for now. They don't plan it now, but maybe it's a thing in the future. Because I would be excited if would be an NFT, because it would be mine then, that would make some, I don't know, yeah. you have some different feeling just if you own this sound. You know what I mean? That's not now. Maybe they will plan for the future. I don't know yet.
Yeah, interesting use case for sure. So this KYC thing, figuring this one out, this is gonna be really, really cool. And believe me, I will be very close to your side to understand how you will figure this one out, because I personally are super interested to see how this one will play out.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Right after you came back from Munich, I will maybe be done with that. I plan my time, but now I'm working on this USDC front end and back office tool right now. Yeah. Thank you
Nice.
for be here, I guess.
Of course. Thanks for coming. By the way, guys, if you don't know Bayram, so he was last week in our hackathon boot camp. He had tons of really, really good questions. And yeah, many talks also. I'm really looking forward to what he's building, because he was so interested in everything. And I know in the beginning he was like, okay, I'm going to learn Rust, and then, oh no, I'm going to learn Anchor. Now you are kind of doing token transfers on TypeScript. It's super interesting to see all this way how it develops. And then you have this project and you start getting a new focus all the time. And instead of being frustrated, what many people would be, because you start from scratch, you do another thing, you start from scratch, you do another thing, you start from scratch. You're still here, you're still hustling, asking your questions, having found your team, being motivated instead of demotivated. And I think it's super cool to see that. So this is also why I think this is really cool. And this is also why I was asking you on Telegram to come on stage again. So super glad that you decided to come on stage and talk and ask your questions. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah, I have to thank you that you motivated me, and I must really say it was also the community there what was motivating me, and seeing people that have achieved that goal already, and that was motivation pure, and still be there for me after the 3 days kickoff, and now I'm sitting here and I love it. I highly can recommend to connect with you and your team and the community.
That is so great to hear. Thank you so much.
That's why we exist. We love it so much. We just want to support people and bring them together and see them successful. So thank you. We're so excited. There's no escape for you now. I'm sorry. This is your home now.
You have to submit something. You have to stay in the community. No simple.
Good idea, for sure.
Great. Thanks so much. Do you have more questions? Maybe something pressing?
For me not. I see you on Friday, and I will just listen to the stream and will work by side.
Nice. Awesome. Because this was been my next question. Are we going to see us on Friday? Amazing. Guys, by the way, if you are watching this, we have every week co-working Fridays going on. So we as Super Team, we understand how important it is to do community. So we thought, why not giving this space on Web3 Hub, W3 Hub, sorry, and make sure that everyone can meet and mix and mingle. There's going to be people from Web2. There's going to be people from Web3. There's going to be people that are not Solana people. There's going to be Solana people. There's like a whole bunch of people there. And we normally just, we sit there, we have our chat, we make sure that we have a good Friday, end of the week, as if we would not work at weekends. It's just a really good vibe. And last week, the good thing was that the bootcamp stopped with this session. And yeah, if you want to meet us in person, if you want to chill and hang out, if you have questions during the hackathon, I think this would be extra valuable for you, especially since Build Station starts on the 25th. Let's meet there. Let's connect. It's going to be super cool, I promise.
I'm so jealous that you have those co-working Fridays in Berlin. I would love to have them in Munich as well.
If only we knew some people in Munich that wanted to co-work together. It is possible. We can make it.
Yeah, we need to
And get a
organize.
nice
We need to be
grant.
enough people here. That's the issue.
I think there's
Lucas.
there's something brewing right now. I'll give you some alpha next week when I'm there. It's
nice.
yeah, there's our TUM friends are up to something. And we might have a little collab. I mean, it's actually already kind of on Twitter. But yeah, we have a little bit of a partnership. So
That's great.
no guys in Munich. Well, we know that's not the case because we were there like 2 weeks ago, and all the friends, very exciting.
They are there. They are just not
And we're
coming
coming next week.
for some events.
On the
sometimes.
11th. The 11th. This is the 11th. The 11th. Yeah, so we have a mixer on the 11th. It's free. Everyone can join and hang out with us. And then yeah, we'll be at the TUM Blockchain Conference all through the 12th and 13th. And yes, Deva, I don't know if you missed your question being answered before, but yes, we were really jazzed. We were excited about you building your Web3 application, all about education on Solana. We are excited for it. We are ready to see it and have it submitted to the hackathon and it win all the prizes. So ready and waiting.
Where are you based? Are you in Berlin? Are we gonna see you on Friday? Or where are you, Diva?
There is such a long leg, honestly, between all the chats. That yeah, it might. You're in India. Hey!
India.
Okay, so no co-op
There's
next Friday.
India.
There's an amazing super team India. They are the OGs. They were the very first super team, and yeah, legends. So if you ever need some local support, Super Team India is there for you.
They're really good.
Yeah.
So you can go to superteam.fun, and then if you scroll a bit down, you will see a list of all the super teams. There's going to be Super Team India. Yes, and they will be nice to you. And if they are not nice to you, then we are here.
Yes, we adopt all the strays as well. Because fun fact, the Super Team Germany was one of the first super teams after India. And since we were the first European super team, especially, we sort of started taking in people from all throughout Europe. And so we have the most diverse population of members, actually. And so, you know, we're here to support regardless. But the Super Team India guys, they're very nice. So they probably have you pretty well covered.
We will lose you to them. I know it already. Nice. Okay, so I think we almost are close to an hour. Wait, I want to put in Web2 education at beginning. Yes.
Do it.
So the idea.
Yeah, Super Team Canada as well.
Super Team Canada is also in the chat. Nice. Hey guys.
Technically, Bangers is a Super Team Germany member, even though she's not. You know, she's partially kind of German. She's has family here. We claim. I think she's the only North American. Oh no, Nate as well. Nate used to live in Germany, and Nate's from Collector. Nate, and then he moved back, and so he is also technically a Super Team Germany member. I have to think if there's anyone else. Anyway, sorry.
So for those of you who listen right now and only hear lots of names and have no context to it, don't bother. You're getting there. We are a super close family, and if you come to meetups, mixers, or whatever it is, you will find so many people and talk with them, and at some point you keep on rolling. It's coming. It's coming. And then you will know who Nate is. Or Bangers. Right.
I think so too, Byram. Looking forward to it. Especially anything in the realm of like education, but I'm also really into DeSci. Actually, speaking of DeSci, we have our very first DeSci guild tomorrow. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. CET, we have our first DeSci meetup on Twitter. It's going to be a Twitter space. All the big brains of DeSci land are going to descend in a Twitter space together. And so those that don't know, DeSci is decentralized science, all about solving the problems of researchers and all different kinds of, they have some challenges, but Web3 is here to help solve it. So if anyone is interested about what is DeSci and what it's about and how to kind of understand it better, understand how Web3 is solving some of the problems within the research realm, and biomed science, all the things, please come on by. That's the next thing. And then, in person on Friday, and then next week in Munich.
One last thing, because there's just coming the question from Diva. So yes, roadmap, very, very different for everyone, I would say. For me personally, I was a Web2 dev and I wanted to start developing on Web3. And I had an idea for a project, and I was basically looking what kind of blockchain would be the best one in terms of my specific use cases. And therefore I knew Solana already before. Don't get me started talking about Solana, because then this session will never end. But I was super happy to see that Solana fits all those requirements. And then for me, there was this huge Rust part. But then I found out I don't actually need Rust to build my idea on Solana, which was pretty cool. Long story short, roadmap for me, just get in there, just start something. If you have like an idea for a project, then start building on it. If you need resources, I just dropped the link into the chat. We do have online courses, and there is really, really good ones. So let me share my screen for one last time. We have a thing. It's docs.superteamde.fun. And there we have basically our guild repository. So everything we do here in those guilds, you can find there. And also an additional ton of stuff in our knowledge base. Also stuff for the hackathon, by the way. But what I wanted to show you is our knowledge base, where we have the online courses. And in the online courses, we have a beginner section, right? And there you can see classes. And with classes, it means it's really guided courses. So for example, Turbine, those guys are so crushing it. They have 2 sessions a day, 3 times a week, with free mentors in it. There is live coding, there is breakout rooms, there is even after those classes support and everything. So they do really their very best to make sure that you can write programs on Solana blockchain using Anchor. So this is a super good resource, but you have to apply for the course. But if you do it, it's a free course. The sky is the limit. And then we have other courses as well. So for example, the way I started was this Solana development course by Unboxed, where you really learn how to write a program. It all starts with a wallet adapter, with TypeScript. It then tells you how you can write the first Anchor code and stuff like this. You will not have a teacher there. It's more like, let's say, in a text format with code examples, but it's really, really good. And then our amazing Nick has also done a Solana Pirate Bootcamp, he calls it. So it's basically a bunch of YouTube videos that you can follow along, and then he explains to you how to mint a token and how everything in Solana works as well. So if you're more like the video kind of guy, I would recommend you to do the Solana Pirate Bootcamp course. And if you are more like the Radar guy, I would say you go with the Solana Development Online course here. Or if you have enough time, you can go there. The link is in the chat. It's from Superteam Germany, so it's docs.superteam.de. Can you see it? It's in the chat. You're from YouTube. You should see the link. You should see the link in the chat.
And Deva, I think that Unboxed, or how is it called? Can you scroll down a bit?
Yes.
That one. If you look, there's payments in there. There is NFT collections in there. I think that's what you probably want to use if you say you have a Web2 application that wants to include some Web3. So you should probably start there, and then think what you can do with USDC transfers and NFTs. And I mean, if you have other ideas what you want to do with Web3, then of course start to dig deeper to other stuff. But I think that should get you started pretty quickly.
And if you have questions about this, we are here to help, right? So we are at superteam.de on X, so you can follow us there. You can reach out also to me. I'm at bjorn.sol on basically every social media platform, but Telegram or X is preferred because the other ones I don't really use. Yeah. And this basically is my part. This is how I got to Solana. And then I got into Lucas the first day in Germany, and we started even doing a small hackathon project. That this is way too much for this time. Maybe Lucas, just to finish this up, maybe you also want to share your story, how you got your way into the Web3 domain.
Yeah, I mean, Web3 domain, that started way back. I mean, in 2021, Axie Infinity, all that stuff. And then I first fell down the EVM rabbit hole. But basically exactly 1 year ago at the TUM Blockchain Conference last year, I got to know Superteam Germany, and a lot of people were there at the first iteration last year. And I really vibed with all of them. And I mean, the rest is history. Pretty much at every event in Munich. I helped Carlo and Becca, and now you, Björn, to organize the events in Munich. I haven't been to Berlin before this year, and now I've been there for the third time, I think, already, and I will be there back for the build station as well. So that's how things can evolve. And yeah, currently I'm running through the Turbine Bootcamp, so I can't only... I'm not only able to develop on the EVM, but also on the SVM, like on Solana. So that's where I'm currently looking into. So,
and those courses, I can only tell it again, they are for free. Man, guys, I did in my previous life, I did so many courses, and there were 10K and something like this, and they were all crap. This course, it's just coming to you, right? I don't know how they do it. I know why they do it. So I cannot say I don't know why they do it.
They have pretty tough requirements to get in there. You have to do something to get in there. You have to commit to 20 hours of work during the time of the course. So, but you don't have to pay anything. So if you're dedicated, I mean, I think the biggest success story probably they had was Leo, our Italian friend who's flying into Berlin regularly to do great talks on Metaplex Core and all the stuff. He started 1.5 years ago, I think, without any coding knowledge with a Turbine project, and he put in the work. He put in a lot of work, and he's very smart. So it's not probably not representative for anyone going into the program, but he now secured a position with Metaplex, and he's working as I think a community dev rel, or
community
I'm
dev,
not
yes.
quite sure what his title there is, but yeah, he's now full-time working as a developer in the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah, I always get goosebumps when I hear his story, because it's like this American dream story, right? You go there, you were washing dishes, and then out of the sudden, you made something. And he's like, through pure dedication, he's hustling so hard, and all on top of that, he's such a nice guy. He's always there to help, and yeah, we are all super bullish on him to put it in the crypto language. 100%. Let's run up. Becca, come on, say it. How did you come to crypto? We have to hear it.
It's a weird story. My husband's cousin convinced me to be part of their NFT project back in 2021. And they were looking for a lead artist, and I had finished my PhD, and I'm like, I'm done with academia. I can't do this. And I wanted to do my art. So yeah, then I fell down the rabbit hole. I co-founded the NFT Club Berlin that turned into quite a large local community full of artists and developers and collectors and all the people. I quite quickly, I think late 2021, became a Solana maxi because I couldn't afford gas fees on ETH. And yeah, so I went from my PhD is like in anthropology and understanding communities and how they communicate and things like that. And so I went from researching communities to building them, and been here ever since. So yeah,
Nice.
that's the TLDR.
So cool. So cool. Yeah, to answer your question, there is job opportunities. I can tell this because Jeff also says it again and again. By the way, Jeff, he's one of the co-founders of Turbine. He's going to be in the Developers Guild in a few weeks, right after Breakpoint. So don't miss this one if you're interested in Turbine and want to understand how the program works and everything. The basic idea is that Turbine takes their best course participants for themselves, I guess, right? And then the rest of the good ones are kind of given out to the project.
I don't know. They just try to. I mean, they have a large placement program where all the ecosystem programs, projects come and ask for developers. So they usually know who has an opening, and they happily try to connect their alumni to those positions.
Yeah,
and also they are running a dev shop. It's not just an educational company like many others. They have a dev shop where they also can hire alumni from their program. And so I think there is a huge chance that if you are a good participant and you go through the course, you ship your graduation project, then I think you have quite some chances to land a job in the ecosystem.
Hell yeah. But as I said, follow us on X, because there's going to be one guild only dedicated to Turbine, because we figured out over the last weeks and also before that, but we also had to go for the program first so that we understand what it does, that it's super, super valuable. And therefore, I invited Jeff to come there and to tell you, everyone, to how the program works and what you need to come in there, and yeah, all the good stuff. I don't want to say too much up front, besides of make sure you don't miss the session. And then there's one last question, Bayran. When Super Team NFT, wait for it, ta-da, already solved. So if you are a Super Team member, so just a heads up, because now even more reason to become one, there is a thing, it's called the member NFT. And the member NFT is great in many ways. The first one is because it shows that you're a member, obviously. But the second one, and I think this is super valuable, is the XP on it. So if you see here, I have a XP number, and this XP number is dynamic. So every time I do something like joining one of our town hall sessions, doing a talk, supporting Super Team in any way, I get experience for that. And this experience is even, so you can see worldwide who has the most XP. The cool thing here is that this XP, even though you see that's a number here, the XP is spread into different areas. So imagine now, I would not be a developer, I would more be a designer, right? I would probably have more XP in the design section. And if I'm a good content writer, I would have XP in the content writing section. So the cool thing is that through this top number, the aggregated one, which is here, you can see how engaged I am in general, in total, but then you can even break it down and see where are my strengths. Why is this important? Well, if you go to, because everything here is open source, and we are enjoying open source a lot and fostering it. We do have, honestly, it's no shit. There is no password, nothing in it. You can just go there. It's called reputation.superteam.fun. And this is all Super Team members are there with their NFTs and their skill sets. So for example, if I want to see who has the most one, if I want to see Becca, there's Becca. See, if you want to see what Becca does, I mean, she is like, oh my gosh, she has so many points. So she's obviously very experienced in what she's doing. And she's in a total rank.
Guys.
She has a total rank of 13. So in worldwide ranking, she is 13. and her most skills are design, operations, and strategy. So if you, for example, look now for a super team member who is good in, who has the skill of development and might be in the country of Germany because you're looking for this. This is obviously, it was Germany. You can just use this filter.
Third from the top. Third from
if
the
I
top.
ever find us. Yes, and then you can see that our example Carlos is like
Carlos.
69,
And Orion.
good number.
Who else? Who else?
Yeah, and Orion. So you can really see just that, and yeah, all the guys, who are they, what they do, and then you could maybe even use this as a chance to reach out to them, to, I don't know, ask them questions or ask them if they want to join your project or work with you or whatever it is, right? So it's a super, super cool thing. I'm super bullish on this because first of all, it's super transparent, and secondly, it's a good chance, and it also motivates you to keep on going. So when Super Team NFT, when you join, when you become a member of Super Team, right?
Be active, and eventually you will join.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Get engaged. Come hang out. Visit our spaces. Tag us in nice tweets. We're friendly. Thank you. I need to go lie down. Get some kind of ideas flowing and some support around Hackathon, and get everyone really revved up about the next few weeks of building and growing and working on stuff together. And of course, reach out to any of us if you have any questions, or in the Telegram or on the Twitter or in the wherever. We're here.
Yeah, we're all excited to meet you. So thank you all. Lucas, thanks so much for being here. Becca, thanks so much for being here. You took the time and talked to our lovely community and everyone who's here. Guys, thanks so much for joining in. This is the end of our session. It's a bit longer. The 15 minutes I took in the beginning to talk you through all stuff. And thanks so much, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Or on Friday.
Bye.
Or town halls.
COVID Fridays.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.